good afternoon, honorable members. Kwanza.
Ongela karibu.
Niko karibu. Kwanza. But kwa nini niko chini?
Wacha ongea.
Kwanza. Communication from the chair, purpose.
meeting of today. I request our secretaries to pray for us. Okay, thank you. Let's pray. God, who in goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and county assemblies for the welfare of society and the just government of the people. We beseech you to behold with abundant favor as your servants whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and the justice interests committed to our church. Amen. Good afternoon, members.
Good afternoon. It's afternoon. Almost morning. Almost afternoon.
Good morning, members.
Good morning.
We had a report, it's a statement that is tabled in the house. It was tabled, but because our members were not very hard, and we did not have the information of that report, they requested that the report will go back to the committee, and we do some correction. I think that was only the communication. Secondly, as a committee, now we have to have our own one as a committee for the year, starting from 2026. And then maybe another thing for everyone and communicate to whatever. So that's before we proceed in the plan. I want to add on to say that we need for us to seriously, because we've been having meetings, the chairman will be calling members to attention for meetings. We've been coming when it doesn't materialize. The whole of, if I can say, the whole of 2024, 2025. And seemingly 2025, this committee, we have done nothing. And this committee is key to the development of this county. We need to oversight things. There's a lot of money that has been pumped into the Department of the Environment and the Natural Resources, Climate Change. So we need to up our game so that our secretary, please do the work plan through the chair. Kindly please step up the game so that we can know how we are supervising this executive, oversighting them. One of the pointers is just an example. We have water, the water issues, and the water is that the water springs. The executive through this department did contract, and Mr. Chair, they gave to contractors our water springs in our wards. Most of us, we gave what we use to the ward based. We gave out water springs. The water springs were taken by contractors. Like, for example, me, 17 water springs. They were brought down. Some of them, when we handed them over, they were doing well. They were serving the people very well. Then when this contractor took over, brought them down, and people were very happy that the water springs are going to be renovated and be upgraded to very good water springs. He started the work very well. Then almost halfway the job, or 3/4 way, the contractor disappeared and abandoned the water springs. Mr. Chair, through the chair, this committee, we should up our game when it comes to oversight. We tell the Minister for Environment, and in fact, if I can urge this committee through the chair, let us have this minister and the chief officers appear before us to explain to us what is wrong with these projects that we gave them 2023, 2024. And then we have taken the whole of 2024, 2025, they have not finished these projects. What is the problem? Mr. Chair, for example, there is a water scheme in my place. In the midst of a town of the ward, the town of the ward called Shikoti Town. I don't know which minister will come in that Shikoti Town and stand up and say, hii water scheme ya Shikoti tumemaliza. Hii water scheme ya Shikoti tumelipa. Hii water scheme ya Shikoti sijui inawasaidia. I don't know, sijui hata frame na lugha gani. Sijui hata frame na lugha gani. Mr. Chairman, let us up our game when it comes to supervision. We oversight these people and put them to task to account for what we gave them 2023, 2024 and 2024, 2025. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then also,
We have not had any committees are just dishing money, eating money left right. This committee we are dormant. Tuakulako kitu tuendeko Kisumu. Kisumu wengine ndio wanaenda Kisumu. Na environment bwana, we are a key committee. What is wrong with the environment? Hakuna kitu tumepata kwa hii committee for the last financial year. Yote imeenda tu pungulu.
We are the next one, and the that we had in the house, we reached the toilets because the members not the report. We needed to go. So the report was sent to the committee for discussion. Also, shared with the secretariat. And we are doing now that we should go for the secondly, I have given Kakamega and opened the floor for every who are the issue to communicate for us, who are the whether maybe she should be voted down. The lady can inform about it. And then lastly, I talked with the secretary to make sure that now, if I did 2026, we should offer make sure that people can target. About the community out, that's now the chair, especially the ministry. And I was talking about the thing because the issue of local is the public defense. So I said the ministry, and we are doing something about the team. The court is
Thank you, Chair. I would like to know if we had any bending bill. Second, do we have our own budget as Environment Committee? Thank you, Chairman.
Chair, thank you. It's true, as a committee, we need to have serious sessions of oversight out there. There's a FLOCA project at my place. It's worthy around 10 million. But when, in fact, the community was up in arms, the contractor ran away. And Chair, I want to correct one notion that is going on in this county. People think Oria ndio watafanya kazi haraka. I don't have anything against them, but they are doing shoddy work. The problem of that project is that the contractor is using pipes whose, I don't know how to describe it, the tunnel cannot even support the project. So it's as if the project will be handed over to the community, then the project collapses. So Chair, I'm appealing you as a committee, we go and do oversight on SCK Koromaiti project, water project in Chekalini. because the manner in which it's being implemented, I mean, is raising a lot of questions. And then the contractor is not on site. Then chair, officers in the Ministry of Water and Environment, they are part of the group that is compromising the implementation of the project as per the PQ. You see, they have even refused to hand over. We are not accessing the PQ. Now, how do we tell whether the project is being implemented properly? The PQ is just a secretive document between the officers in the Ministry of Water and under the contract. But you see, generally, even you as a layman, or me as a layman, on matters of water, when you look at what is being done, you're just questioning it. So I'm appealing, and I'm appealing to members. Chair, there's a problem when we go for oversight. When you talk of, when you assign around 5 members for the northern region, only 1 or 2 members wanajitokeza. There's a time we only did it na mheshimiwa hii. Another time I only did it with Chapro. Right away from Moy's Bridge to Malaba. These other committee members wanakuanga wapi? You know, people can question, but there are so many questions even concerning the committee members. We need to take our work seriously. When the committee decides that it is time for oversight, let us go. And you know, Chair, even before you came in the office, this trend has been on. I remember there was a time I went to oversight a project in Shinyalu, Ikolomani, and I think in around Kambiri. We were supposed to be 5, and it's me who turned out. What of if I didn't turn out? So, committee members, we need to take our work seriously. Then lastly, on the issue of us not benefiting from the pending bills. The Secretariat, please help us. I know some committees out there are cooking these pending bills. That is the truth. Chair, we are supposed to visit West Kenya Sugar Factory. We are supposed to visit Butali Sugar Factory to assess, how the operations are impacting on the environment around those sugar factories. We need to do that. There are so many. You know, we don't need to wait for an accident in a mine in Ikolomani before we go there. There are so, in fact, this should be the most vibrant committee. So, what all of us need to be creative so that apart from working, doing our normal work, we also get something out of this committee. Thank you, Chair.
Let me welcome first our Vice Chair who has just come in. Welcome, Vice Chair. Lucy, you had an issue, and then Trufena will come in, and then I will now give a chance to my Vice Chair to say a word before we proceed. Honorable Kwama, please put off your microphone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I just wanted to know, because it is my fault, yes. I was hoping that maybe the committee gets to know why our report did not pass at the floor of the House. That will help us improve on the fault and maybe help it pass next time it is brought on the floor of the House. Thank you.
Through the chair.
Thank you. And first of all, I want to apologize for coming in late. I had attended a meeting at Malava. That's why I'll also apologize on my dressing code, because at 7 I was already at Malava. So I've sat down and I thought before I go to the house I change, I'll find when the meeting is over. Coming in late, I had gone to the other side. I didn't read the message because I'm used to Kateko. That's why I went to the other side. But I was told the meeting is here. Since I've come in late, Chair, maybe I might miss one or two from the communication, but I want to, based on whatever you've touched on the statement that was brought before the House. Chair, if you just check keenly, us having those sentiments, we had reason as to why we're having those sentiments. There is no way we are going to be sitting at the floor of the House with rubber stamp on something that, Chair, you have the authority of summoning the same ministry to come before the Environment Committee so that we can get the facts right. Because at the end of the day, there is no reason of us passing that statement, and when they are done, they'll go outside there, they say this statement was passed by the honorable members. So it will be for us to be blamed. We'll rather have facts rights than responding to members. It will be a bit easier. Chair, when you see us doing that, it doesn't mean that you are doing it in bad faith. But our main aim is to make sure you and Vice Chair, you are having powers in terms of your members. Some on those just tell the ministry, members did not see the figures running well with them, and that's why they wanted clarification. So there is, and Chair, I'm very sorry when maybe I'll be talking on something that I'm not supposed to be talking about. Chair, we need to get strength from you and Vice Chair instead of maybe finding something which is not auguring well with you and you castigate us as a committee or as members. Right now we are here. We want to get to understand more about the statement. The way Mheshimiwa Masi is asking, the statement was, we did not pass the statement as per the committee wanted, but now we are here. Can we have a date, even if there is a committee? We go through the statement, we see where our lapses and where the ministry lapses. Reason why, Chair, you've had Mheshimiwa Kuoma talking about Floka. We are having a very big issue with Floka. And Chair, this thing is going to come back to the committee, because Floka, whatever they get versus whatever they disclose to the committee, it is not the same figure that they are going to be giving to the floor of the House. And you know, this is a fund that is supposed to be doing those projects to the wards. Those wards, we have elected members. We have you, Chair, also as an elected member. When you go out there and someone is asking you about something that was not done and you are the chair of that committee, I don't think, Chair, whether that thing is going to augur all. What we need to do as a committee, we have to sit down, we pass through the statement, we see where we are going. Chair, another thing, I'm very sorry. Sometimes some of us, like for me, mutanisame, because you're having so many meetings at Malava. When I want to attend meetings, I usually do them. If I'm focused of attending meetings, I usually do them. Call for the meetings. We need to get serious. Environment Committee has so many things that we can be dealing with. We are not supposed to be even missing pending bills. And even pending bills, as that is part and parcel of our welfare as the committee. But there are so many things that are supposed to be done under Environment Committee. It is our failure from our end. And I don't want to blame you, Chair and Vice. Also members, we are failing you. But if you don't stamp that authority as the Chair and the Vice of this committee, then hata mkisema, they'll be telling us, Environment Committee, they are failed, and we'll be receiving the reports that we don't want to be receiving on the floor of the House. Chair, that day we did our part as members of the Environment Committee. If there is a place where we missed, kindly you need to tell us, this is where it's supposed to be corrected, and this is what it's supposed to be done. Then we'll adhere to it based on the mandate that we have been bestowed to us as a committee. Thank you.
Thank you. I think I will respond later. Let me now welcome in my Vice Chair to say a word.
Thank you. Still morning. It's okay. Good afternoon. I'm sorry I came in late. I want to concur with Mheshimiwa Kuoma. And I want to also applaud Mheshimiwa Daffin. She never misses meetings until when this animal called Malava came in. We've been with her in so many other committees. She never misses. The way Kwama said, we have to blame ourselves as the committee members. In fact, I thought after the statement didn't go through, today everybody will be here, because the comments that came on the wall were not so good. So I thought today everybody would be here. They come, we discuss, we find out where we went wrong. Actually, Chair, while you were away that day, you were last on meeting twice. I was chairing the meeting on your behalf. We were only 2 members. Mheshimiwa Victorine and I. In fact, the clerk gave me whatever we were supposed to read and do everything. I went through the statements. I went through them. But now 2 people cannot see everything. So we said, we wait for another date. Then, little did I know that we had already taken this statement to come to the floor. It's only when the chairman called me and I had a function in the house, I wouldn't have come. All said and done, please, we're not begging, because that is your mandate. Let us all be attending meetings. For example, when we were going to do an oversight, I was the only one. Paul was sick, he gave me somebody else. I moved here, Shinyalu, Rurambi, Shinyalu, you can imagine. And we are so many members. But now when it comes to a problem, we want to throw stones at each other and at each other. So I feel we are not doing it right. Chairman, I don't know how we can do so that somebody tells me we mobilize. How do I mobilize you to come on duty? I fail to understand unless I don't understand English. How do I mobilize you to come on duty? With Daphne, I want to excuse her because of this animal called by-election, but Mheshimiwa Kwama is always there. And that time that we were here, we were supposed to have that meeting. I think he was also in Lyson meeting. That's why he never came. But the rest of us, Mheshimiwa Mercy has been having problems. Mheshimiwa Angela always asks for an apology. But what about the rest of us? How many are we in this committee? And how many are present today? So today we go through the statement today. Fine. We are how many? Then that day when we are coming to read it in the house, none of us is here. Definitely to not go through. The chair calls the ministry, the executive here. We only appear the way we are. What would have done? Nothing. So let us also blame ourselves. And when we blame ourselves, we ask ourselves, are we doing the right thing? Are we doing justice to the people of Kakamega County? I think this is a mandate you were given when you were brought in this committee. That's why when I called Paul, I asked Paul, how many people are there? Because you're coming and then you only find 2 people, actually it is discouraging. But because I was not sure if our chair had come back, so I was wondering if I'll just be there alone and Victorine. But today I'm happy we are a big number. And Chair, what I'll just say, let us, I don't know how we're going to do. We can't encourage somebody to come and earn. I don't know what we will do. Thank you.
Yes.
To me, and I've been a member of these committees, from onset. You are a little bit sober compared, I don't want even to go that far. Let us make the committee active. I think one of the complaints of the members is that they are not getting anything from the committee. But the members are the ones who are supposed to make the committee active. It is actually a collective responsibility. 2, Chair, that statement will still have problems. I think where we are, we better organize ourselves as a committee, and invite the ministry, because the origin of that statement is the ministry. And the truth of the matter is that in terms of, listing those projects, it is true. But what actually members had a problem with is the manner in which those projects are being implemented. There's some sort of working relationship that is beneficial between senior officers in the ministry and the contractors. And Chair, the right thing is not being done on the ground. So I'm appealing even to the whole committee. We need to organize some oversight. I think the issue of transport has been properly addressed. We need to organize some oversight. We go around. Because at my place, the problem are ministry officials. Because when I asked the contractor, he told me to look what tumesikizana na Howard. You see, which means they are colluding to ensure that the right works are not being done. And Chair, why would also they hide a PQ of a project? It's not only at my place, but in most of these wards, it's being treated as if it is a classified document. Let them make the document public so that it will even help us as a committee. Because when you visit a project minus a PQ, what are we going to do there? So, Chair, my appeal is that let us re-energize member participation in committee work, and it will call us for, to call, in fact, it will force you to call these members so that we agree that let us have a new beginning. Let us ensure that we are having some serious welfare from the committee, and that will help a great deal.
I think I concur with Mheshimiwa Kwama. And today, as we sit here, Chair, the only active clerk I usually see here, 3, that is Paul, this lady, and Grace. But when it comes, we have an activity outside, or we have an there are so many. When I want to find out about our pending bills, it's only Paul. But when we are going out, Chair, it's only, there are so many. So how I'm very strict. How I would wish we know how many clerks we have here. Then, because at times Paul is, I don't know how many committees he's assigned to. He's so busy, like on Friday, was it Friday or Thursday? When I wanted him to go and see the director over some activities. He was overwhelmed with job. So I'm wondering, when it comes for going out, who is this and why do they usually come? Instead of that, if it's only Paul who is working, it's only Paul looking for activities, then why do they come? And if instead of giving them that small transport, we can give to Paul, because they're not helping us. Now Paul today is here, probably is wanted somewhere else. What happens? And then if there is somebody who wants to say, to support Duchess, let us also know. Unajua hii committee pia iko na rivalry. Let us know, tujue shida iko wapi. Unaona, environment ndio tu kukua tu na pending bill. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, members. First of all, I will solve the issue of the statement that was put to the House. On the statement, I had asked our secretariat, he will just highlight the procedure that is used to make that statement, maybe, so that members are aware how the statement is made. Secondly, about the oversight, I think the last oversight we did, we had 3 areas that were marked, especially we had the northern side, the central, and the southern. And I was maybe the one member. I don't know if Mas joined me in southern. I was alone. Yeah, I was alone. Because even when you go through the photos that were took at the site that we did our oversight, you will see that I was only with my clerk, with one secretariat, and myself. So it's now high time for members to pull up their socks to make sure that now we are working together for the achievement of this committee. And secondly, about the issue of the committee going out, on that one, the way my vice has said, we want to know the secretariats that are attached on this committee. Because last time when we went to Bungoma, to Aristotle, we saw a very long list of secretariats. And it was like, now people, when you go out, their names are brought on the list, but when you are doing committee works, those people or those names are not seen in the committee. So I request my secretary to make sure that we want to know the secretary that are attached on this committee, to avoid those inconveniences that may come later when we are going out. About the oversight, I had already talked with my clerk. We want to organize to do some oversights so that maybe our committee can be vibrant. And also the way you have shared with the committee, now I request that maybe the secretary to advise us, because he's here to advise us. What happened in the House, it already happened, but now I want you to advise us how to go about it. And maybe if we can now call the executive to come, so that maybe you can interrogate about the issue that was raised by the members.
Chair, my thinking is we do some impromptu oversight. Because, you know, when you invite the executive, they will still come with lies. So I'm suggesting, Chair, that we do a thorough oversight. Then we invite them. I think we will get it right if we go it that way.
Thank you. That one is okay.
Through whatever Mheshimiwa Koma has raised, I'm of the same opinion. After you have done our impromptu visit, now you are at liberty of now calling the executive for them to take us through. Even if they'll not be at the oversight day that will be there, but when you call them, when you're having a committee meeting, so that they can respond, you know, you'll be having facts. They'll be telling us exactly whatever it is on the ground versus whatever we got on the ground. Because if we give them time, we don't want to say that those things are being done, they are totally faulty, but we need to get exactly what is being done versus whatever is going to be noted on the paper.
Thank you, Chair. I think I concur with the two members. While you were away, Chair, we discussed with the clerk, and he had said he would start doing a follow-up for us to get an impromptu oversight. So as he's presenting his report, he should also tell us how far he has gone. If there are any hitches, we come in, we assist him, so that we do it as fast as possible. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you, members. Maybe let me take this opportunity to just invite my clerk to go through the reports to advise us. First of all, you tell us about the statements, how it is done, and secondly, you tell us about the issue of the oversight, and then we had another issue of pending bills. I don't know if you have a record of pending bills of the committee, so that maybe you can do some follow-ups. Thank you. Welcome, our clerk.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. With the issue of pending bill, when I came into the committee, so when the clerk did the reshuffles, I was not given anything concerning the pending bill with my predecessor. So I assumed maybe the committee had no pending bill. So far, the committee as per now, we have no any pending bill. That is my concern. Maybe we do as you are now suggesting, so that in the coming disbursement, we also be captured as one of the committee with activities having the pending bills. And by doing that, we have to up our game with these several activities so that we may have 2 or 3 pending bills to cover up what we have missed out. On the issue of the statement, this statement was raised by Honorable Robert Mahanu and Honorable Mix on different dates and occasions. The first statement requested, it was about how FLOCA funds are being spent and the distribution of FLOCA projects across the county. So, and that one was asked by Honorable Mahanu. So when a member stands in the floor of the House to ask for a statement, the first thing we do, the statement is directed to the committee. So it was directly directed to the committee, and I took up the initiative and did a letter to the ministry to give the responses as per the concerned member. So I did a letter on 29th May 2025, and I asked the concerned question that the honorable member who was on the floor of the House had asked. The ministry or the CEC took time to respond to this statement. In fact, it was responded after it took for almost 1 month. Then when I tried to do a follow-up, he brought back the statement. And I formulated that statement in a reply form so that members could go through it and give back the response to the House. So we did so, and the statement, the information we captured, it's not our information. That is the information from the executive. It isn't ours. We only reported what she told us, or the ministry gave us. But maybe where there is a lapse is, before we give back that statement, we could have gone to the site to ascertain what the ministry alleges, is it true or not? That is where maybe there was a lapse. And even the members who disowned the statement were right in one way or another, because we just don't give a blanket statement. We have to go to the site and ascertain the response. So maybe it has opened our eyes, as the honorable members have suggested, that we request for a site visit to all these listed areas. And we are starting with now the FLOCA programs. Let's do away with any other program, but let's start with the FLOCA. We want to kill this animal called FLOCA, and this statement, we want to answer the question of this statement. So how I request that the committee allows me to do a schedule, then we present it to the office of the clerk for approval. Maybe if it's approved by next week, we go out for an oversight, thorough oversight, and we shall be doing that oversight versus the response they gave us. So after we have done with the oversight, we shall now invite the CEC tumwambie Hapa ulisema uliweka project imefika this status, and we have gone to the ground, hiyo project haijaanza. Sasa unaona hapa ulisema umelipa ama umelipa, na kulingana na contractor tumeenda kwa site amesema haujamlipa chochote. Hapo ndio tutakuwa sasa tuna unveil kila ambacho tumefunikwa. So from there now we shall come up, not now with a statement, we shall make a report, a conclusive report to present it to this house. I think that's the right way that we can go.
Yes, Honorable Mercy.
Procedure. The procedure. At what point do we have members contributing to a statement? Because as far as I know, when we have a statement on the floor of the House, the committee particularly gives the response to the member who asked, who made that inquiry. So if it was a statement, I don't understand why we had other members contributing. Maybe our clerks can help.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, maybe a follow kidogo, so that maybe our clerk can just brief us on that issue. So
that chair, and just allow us. Maybe before the clerk continues with the statement, maybe telling us in figures, can he tell members statement how it is being brought before the floor of the House when the statement has been read? Because once you are given the floor is open for members to contribute from the speaker, then they usually say the speaker is right. So maybe if you can give guidance so that we can read it from there.
Chair, the questions were raised here in this assembly, kind of public. I agree, the honorable member who has raised those questions is actually supposed to have a copy. But, I mean, we are supposed to have a discussion over it here.
No,
you cannot.
No, remember, the statements are not discussed in the House. It was also wrong for the speaker to allow the committee,
debatable.
because we were just responding on what the members had requested. So we just tabled the reports and then hand it over to him to go through the reports. But now the speaker allowed the House to debate on the reports. So that's where maybe it went wrong.
If the member is not satisfied with whatever will have been presented to him with the response, now it is upon the speaker to recommit, to take it back to the committee. Maybe for us to do what the clerk has been talking about. Now call the minister, say, this is what we found out, this is what you said.
Thank you.
Statements are not debatable.
Yeah, just like Mheshimiwa has said, statements are not debatable. The only person who could raise a query about that statement is the statement owner, who was Mheshimiwa Robert. Aseme, you have given me the response, but I'm not satisfied. So the speaker will direct back the statement to go back to the committee and come up with a satisfactory answer to the statement owner, but not any other member. Yeah.
Chair, as much Chair, through the Chair, we understand because we've been taken through the statements, because whatever Mheshimiwa Mercy is trying to raise, it's very important. And we were told once a statement has been brought on the floor of the House, if a member is not satisfied, it is taken back to the ministry, then the committee summons the ministry. But now, when we get at this particular moment, where do we fail as a committee? Secretariat, Vice, and Chair. My thinking is, we can, all of us, we cannot be privy. Understanding is a bit different when it comes to these things, because you cannot learn fast and furious as is expected. Secretariat, that is where we got the lapse, because the meeting was supposed to be called will be taken through everything that is supposed to be taken through before the statement was brought on the floor of the House.
When the statements were brought, I think the secretary shared in the room that we had a meeting, and all the members stand up for that meeting. So you cannot blame the secretary about the meeting, because we called 2 meetings. Yeah, I remember there were 3 meetings. So the last meeting is my vice chair and Victorine that were in that meeting. But all in all, let us now forget about what happened and move on. We work as a team. We make sure that our committee now can succeed in what we are doing. Thank you. Thank you, members.
Since we are here to learn, we need to learn until we get our facts right. This is a little bit of my complaint when it comes to communication of the messages. I called Paul. I wanted to get something out of that message. Sometimes some of us will get those messages, or sometimes they wouldn't appear. But again, Chair, when you're communicating, when the message is being communicated to members, sometimes let us be specific of the meeting that we're supposed to be having. Like members, they are supposed to be coming to the committee because we have a statement that is supposed to be going through. So sometimes when you just call, you send a random message, one will just think it is something. Kindly, the usual meeting, we treat that committee with the urgency it deserves. It doesn't mean that the other committees are not urgent, but we treat them with the urgency it deserves. That is when we are going to give the committee justice that it is supposed to be, because we cannot refute all the claims that are being laid. But even you, Chair, you are here. The floor was open to the members. What were we expected to be doing?
Of course, by the speaker.
Okay, thank you. Mheshimiwa Dafin, it's not Paul who sends the message, it is the official office line. They only become very particular when you say you are going out for, but what Paul does, he just takes a request to the clerk, and then the clerk, it's not Paul who goes to that clerk, it is now the senior clerk, Daktari, who tells the clerk who is supposed to be sending messages.
Just have
Before,
an
yes.
item.
Okay.
If you are a member of this committee and you are no longer interested, the committee on selection will be sitting. I know you are aware some 2 new members are coming in. Will be sitting, to shake some of these committees. So kama unajua umechoka, give room to more serious members to come in. And then 2, because Chair, when you look at the list of attendance, you will find 2 or even 4 members who don't attend. Yes, in fact, when you go out for a meeting that is involving money, you see some strange fellows. So if you are actually not willing to contribute or to be part of this committee, you excuse yourself. Thank you, Chair.
Chair, I have something to say to conclude. Okay, because we want to talk about our issues conclusively. We've talked about the statement. We need to go ahead and see how we can add some meat on the statement. Number 2, whatever Dafin has raised, our vice has explained how it is done, but maybe we can be having the clerk substantiate or explain why we are having that on the wall. Kama ni ya kusign, tujue ni ya kusign. Kama we have tuko na agenda, juu sasa si ndio tunajipanga, saa zingine tunaitwa kusign. So kama kuna kitu tunafanya.
Chair, mi huwa nafikiria.
Sijamaliza. Alafu pia, you see, we are talking as a committee. Maybe through you or through the clerks, we can let the speaker know we did not agree with how he dealt with the statement issue. That is how to conclude, and it can help the House grow, even when it comes to other committees. Politely tu yani, we open house for debate, na as where we sit, the statements are not debatable.
May clarify something. Kuna statement ambayo wanasema iko na yani it has got some interest. The statement with interest, the interest near public, a member can stand to question it. Na hiyo it is debatable. But kuna statement ambayo haina factual evidence. Yeah, I'm talking from the parliamentary kuna ile ambayo iko na interest of the public, a member can question it. But there is another one ambayo iko tu na interest na the member who asked it alone. That is undebatable.
My point is, maybe we just furnish ourselves with what the standing order says. Yeah.
I will come with the
Yeah.
Okay, being no more business to be discussed, I request one member to propose for the adjournment and the other one to second.
Honorable Masenza Daphne, I propose.
Honorable Angela Nelima, I second.